Aloha YouTube. How are all you investors doing today? My name is David Yansen. Welcome to my channel. Today is October 20th. It is Tuesday 2020 and we are looking at my Roth IRA. The US stock market did finish in the green as far as the S&P 500, the Nasdaq, and the Dow, which it is nice because yesterday was a red day. And there are various reasons why they talk about on the news on why it may be volatile. Historically, most people know that the U.S. stock market has been volatile during election years, which this is. The election is November 4th, so like 2 weeks away or so. And we will either have another 4 years of our current president, Donald Trump, or it will be former Vice President Joe Biden for the next 4 years. So we might not find out exactly on November 4th, but we'll have kind of an idea of which way the country is leaning, I believe. So my Roth IRA here, all time, you can see over 21% at the end of the trading day today. At one time in September, I was down about 11-12% with my Roth IRA here. And then earlier this month in October, it actually was up almost to 29%. I think it was like 27.9 or 28.7%. Is what my gains were. I'd have to look at my previous videos to know exactly what happened. So, and feel free to check the playlist as well too. The playlist there has all my brokerages broken down. Fidelity, Robinhood, and M1 Finance are the three ones that I use on a regular basis. The others are just kind of ones that I opened either for free stocks or because somebody asked for a review. But check out the playlist if you want to see. And on my dividend tracker video, I will have at the end of the week for you, showing you exactly how much I'm getting at the end of this year, all the way out to 2044 in dividend income, and what the estimated growth of my dividend portfolio will be all the way out to 2044. So that video I do pretty much at the end of every single week, either on Friday or on Saturday. So depending on where you are in the world or what time zone you are for the US, look for that video at the end of the week. So I did do an order because we're going to talk about Procter & Gamble in this video. They announced their earnings this morning just before the U.S. stock market opened. And as I mentioned yesterday and last week, my videos now through December, I guess, is going to be highlighting the companies that I own that have announced their earnings. I might talk about some other companies that I don't own and their earnings reports just because it's something that's on fire or something that's sunk big time or whatever, or maybe it's a company that I have in my watch list in M1 Finance or Fidelity. But for the most part, we're just going to be going through the companies that I own. So previous videos last week, JP Morgan and Johnson & Johnson, and I believe Bank of America. And then today is Procter & Gamble. And I also, Tesla, I think I own them in my Fidelity, so I'll do a video about that, their earnings right after this one. Is it Tesla? I can't remember if it was Tesla that did theirs early this morning. It's another company that I have in my Fidelity account that I'll have that video out for you. So, but I am, my Roth IRA is a dividend growth and a long time. Roth IRAs, it's usually a portfolio of holdings that you plan on keeping for a really, really long time. So Procter & Gamble is here in my blue chip slice. And as you can see, all time, it has done really well for me, up over 32% for the day. Actually, it's Lockheed Martin. It just popped in my brain. Lockheed Martin, who did their earnings today. That's in my Fidelity. So I'll have a video for them right after I do this one. But for the day, Procter & Gamble gained. So I am putting the $100 that I invest every single week into my Roth IRA. I am putting into Procter & Gamble. I already placed the order. About 4 a.m. tomorrow is when the order will be processed. 3:30 a.m. is when the stock market opens. But typically with M1 Finance, I'm not entirely sure why, but it doesn't actually finish processing until 4 a.m. I'm thinking it might be because of it's fractional shares. I'm not sure if that's entirely true. I did hear somebody else say that, but I don't know if it's entirely true, just because I've bought a full share, like Apple in September. I bought, I think, an additional $300 or so into Apple through the month of September, and every time it was $100, and Apple was at or actually a few times it was like 125, and Apple was trading at like 112, 115, and it still took till 4 a.m. So it might just be an M1 Finance thing. So this $102.62 will go into Procter & Gamble tomorrow, and the $2.62 is from dividends that I earned this week, Realty Income, and American Tower. You can see here on the October 15th and October 16th. So those will be reinvested into Procter & Gamble. I do reinvest my dividends, but I don't always reinvest them back into the company that pays it out to me. So my strategy, if you haven't seen my other videos, is that I buy the company whose ex-dividend date is approaching, or the one who probably dipped, unless something else happens besides those two things. So, but that's first ex-dividend date, and then next the company that has probably dipped for the day or seems to be on a downward trend for whatever reason. So at one point it was Apple. So for like 3 weeks straight, or maybe 2 weeks straight, I just kept putting into Apple. Now I have 7 shares of Apple. So with Procter & Gamble, I only own a little over 3 shares. So this will probably be right about 4 shares, I guess, depending on what the price is tomorrow when the trade goes through. So let's go ahead and look at the earnings for Procter & Gamble today. It was really good news, and Procter & Gamble has really benefited from the stay-at-home economy. All their cleaning products, they have 5 segments that we're going to look at in this video of Procter & Gamble that we're going to cover. But they did beat estimates. Sales jumped 9%. And they also gave out a forecast for the rest of 2021. I believe this was Q1 for fiscal year 2021 for Procter & Gamble. Some companies do regular calendar year, Q1, Q2, 3, and 4. Procter & Gamble does a fiscal year. So their first quarter is actually the third quarter for 2020. So they just do it on a fiscal year versus a calendar year. So as far as net sales, I mentioned it rose 9%. That is over $19 billion, $19.3 billion, and that beat expectations a lot. So expectations was $18.3 billion, and they ended up bringing in $19.3 billion. So almost just a little over $1 billion extra in sales, which is really kind of nice, and that did help their stock. You can see now it is trading at 142, and I did read recently an analyst is now projecting this stock to start trading at about 145. Yes, that is kind of high, but the way that things are now, people buying cleaning products and other products that Procter & Gamble is known for, because they are a consumer defensive company, toothpaste, laundry detergent, soaps, hand sanitizers, all those types of things Procter & Gamble sells, and that's what's big right now. So they've really been helped in this recession, and my Roth IRA in general, if you haven't seen my previous videos, was set up to be more future-proof and recession-proof. And not to show you all of my holdings now, but if you look at my previous videos, you'll see a breakdown of all my other holdings. And I feel that it's good recession-proof. You never know recession-proof. I feel like it is future-proof. Not quite sure if it's recession-proof yet. So anyway, as far as growth for their different regions, the U.S. saw growth of 16%. China reported growth, this is for Procter & Gamble, of 12% of all these consumer brands that they have. And as far as their fabric and home care, which includes Tide, Comet, cleaning supplies, like I mentioned, organic sales rose 14% in the quarter. As far as home care segment, organic sales soared 30%. That's amazing for home care, which is like Mr. Clean, like I mentioned, cleaning products, So that's 30% is crazy, but people are more fastidious, I guess, more clean, more cautious about germs now than they previously were before February of this year. Healthcare, which has their Vicks, Pepto-Bismol, Crest toothpaste, stuff like that. Double-digit sales growth for that area as well too. And then beauty also saw 7% growth. That's the hand soap and the sanitizers. I think it is Safeguard is the soap or hand sanitizer. And then as far as the grooming business, organic sales jumped up again for the quarter, 6%. And then lastly, the company's baby, health, and family care segment reported organic sales growth of 4%. So, and that's, your Pampers, your paper towels, your toilet paper, all that type of stuff. So, really, really good news for Procter & Gamble. They are a dividend king. If they aren't a part of your portfolio, I personally, in my opinion, recommend that you would put them as a staple of your portfolio. I'm hoping to get to like 10 shares really soon here, and then maybe once all of my holdings that I have in my blue chips, my real estate investment trust, and my technology get to like 10 shares, then I'll probably start to add some other companies to my Roth IRA. But I like the way that it sits right now. So as far as dividend is concerned with Procter & Gamble, like I said, they are a dividend king, which means that they have been increasing their dividend payment for a minimum of 50 years. And their yield sits at 2.2%. And that's annually is $3.16. So I mentioned their ex-dividend date is the 22nd, which is Wednesday. And then you'll get paid in November, I believe is what it is. I forget what date it is exactly, but I believe the payday is going to be in November for everybody who has purchased their shares and it is recorded. Purchased by the 22nd and recorded by the 23rd. So stay tuned for my other videos. I will have plenty on earnings, and then my dividend tracker video will be out at the end of the week. Make sure to check that out. Feel free to share with your family and friends. Mahalo and aloha, everybody.